With Phil Dalhausser feasting on opponents at the net and Todd Rogers digging every ball that comes his way, no team has proved a match for the gold medal favorites in the chase for the Crocs Cup. But defending Charleston Open champion Stein Metzger with new partner and block machine Mark Williams hopes to be the first to beat Dalhausser and Rogers in a final in 2008. Historic Charleston hosts the fourth stop on the AVP Crocs Tour right now.
Sunshine never felt so good. Oh, and it's only getting better. We get around, 'cause now we're living the dream. We are living our dream, our dream. We are living our dream, our dream.
Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to the Family Circle Tennis Center, Charleston, South Carolina. It's the AVP Crocs Tour. Make a little noise! And here we go. He grew up in West Los Angeles with University High School, a two-time national champion at a UCLA, the 2004 Olympian in his first ever AVP final. Mark Williams, Willie! And his partner grew up in Kudoho High School in Honolulu, Hawaii, a three-time national champion at a UCLA 17 Open win, Steino! Stein Metzger, I don't hug many men, but I'll hug you. Oh, ladies and gentlemen, the most intimidating force in the entire world of professional sports out of the University of Central Florida. 24 Open wins, the reigning MVP of the AVP, Phil Dalhausser. I'm not scared of you. And his partner, ladies and gentlemen, from Santa Barbara, California, 36 titles, the 2006 MVP of the AVP and the four-time defending best defensive player in the world, Raji. Master. All right, ladies and gentlemen, it's time to introduce the greatest player of all time, Mark Williams.
Gator, the symbol for Metzger Williams has to be the question mark. First, they were going to play in one tournament together. Then it was going to be three, and as Lambo's knees taking longer to recover, it's up to 6 and counting. But two things Mark Williams knows for sure. He wants to learn at the feet of the master, and he wants to notch his first career victory.
Mark Williams has made this handshake 1,000 times. But this is the first time he's ever done it in a final. We're trying something new this year on the AVP Crocs Tour because we are innovative. I am going to do the play-by-play with Coach Karai and also handle the MC duties. We're going to try to enhance your viewing pleasure and bring you guys to the live event. Enjoy the show. Charleston, South Carolina, are you ready? Todd Rogers, 36 titles, your server. And Willie starts it off with a shot off the block of Phil Dalhausser for 1-0. Stein Metzger out of UCLA, the defending champion Charleston, the 2004 Olympian, your server. Oh, yeah. Metzger goes right at Rogers. Willie is there with a pull. And the Beast delivers with a huge block.
Peter, this is going to be a fun matchup to watch. The two leading blockers on the AVP Tour this year. Williams actually leading in blocks per game over Dalhausser, but Dalhausser getting the best of him on that one.
Phil Dalhausser, the MVP 2007, your server. Metzger. Oh, Rogers there. And Rogers puts it away. Now, Rogers, a guy who's played in so many finals over the last 11 years, knows just how Mark Williams is feeling.
I'm sure there'll be some jitters, and most of the time what I've seen from most people, and myself and others included, They either come out and they're on fire, just unconscious because they're so stoked to be there, or they're a little nervous and they come out and make some dumb errors. So, I mean, from my perspective, I hope he comes out and makes some dumb errors, and that would be good for us.
I'd say he's probably a little anxious, a little nervous, but probably excited at the same time. That's how I felt. So, you know, he'll get a lot of serves tonight.
And Big Phil ready to serve. Right at Willie, and he blasts it for an ace. Well, he said he was going to do that, and he did. Dalhausser with one of the most feared jump serves in the world.
He hits this ball down. That is an 8-foot net, but the trajectory from contact forward is down. Nobody else in the world can do that.
And that serve goes long. 2-3.
Mark Williams out of UCLA, ladies and gentlemen. Give him a round of applause, two-time national champ. Played for Australia in the Olympic Games in 2004 with a fourth-place finish. And the post shot is long, 3-3.
Now, Karch, you talked about it in the opening. How long is this partnership going to last? Nobody knows, but Mark Williams had to make that decision, a chance to play with Stein Metzger, even if it was only for 1 or 2 tournaments.
And in fact, he risked his good friendship with his former partner, Aaron Lockfogle, in the decision.
It's time for Nautica.com, navigate the match.
Well, the key for Dalhausser-Rogers, of course, is tear down this Aussie wall. Mark Williams been leading the tour on blocks 2.2 per game, and for Metzger-Williams, the honeymoon effect. Teams that play together in their first few events always got a great feeling, great vibe going. They want to ride that to Metzger and Williams' first victory together, and Williams' first victory in his career.
Willie. He's in the middle of the court, shoots the line, and he's got it.
Mark Williams down the line, good for 4-4.
And Dieter, we'll try to watch sometimes one of the very best in the world at taking his eye off the ball as he jumps to hit and looking at the defender then back is Mark Williams. He's got great court vision as an offensive player.
Karch, explain to people just how hard that is. I mean, it's just ridiculous how you take your eye off the ball. You're taught in every sport to keep your eye on the ball.
Let's try and see if Rogers does it here. Looks for just a second.
He's up line.
Karch, as a defender, are you waiting for him to look at you before you make your move?
Yes, you do. You try to. It's a total cat and mouse game, and that time Metzger lured Rogers into the cut shot. But what you do is you try to make late moves and juke back and forth. Sometimes you fake, sometimes you don't.
I'm a huge fan of that dance move by Steino, too. He's not afraid to celebrate it, Karch.
Willie, the knuckle pokey off the hands, good for the point, and he wants the Charleston crowd to applaud it and appreciate it. 6-4 on the board. Steino, your serve.
Metzger having such a great season, almost hitting 500, leading the tour in attack efficiency, and he's feeling as healthy as he has in the last 4 years. It's showing.
5-6.
Gatorade spent a lot of time, Metzger did, in the offseason just trying to get healthy. So beaten up the last couple of years. He wasn't used to getting all the serves. The player who's thought of as the weaker offensive player receives most of them. He started doing that once he hooked up with Mike Lambert 2 years ago, but now he can handle the load.
Big Phil hammering it down the middle. Stein with a nice job of stepping over.
Stein Metzger, so good to have him back on the AVP Tour, one of the great entertainers and great winners of all time on the AVP.
What up? I'm Steino. I come from Honolulu, Hawaii. I paddled my canoe over to Los Angeles and won 3 national championships at UCLA. I used to drive over Mike Lambert's house and we'd watch Olympic tapes of Karch Kiraly and dream about playing on the AVP. Here we are, a dream come true. When I'm not siding out, I like to be in the water, surfing, sailing, canoe surfing. Bring it. I had open heart surgery when I was 3 years old, hence the bad verbal score on SATs. I think it's a rule on tour that every year you get older, you have to jack your shorts up another centimeter. So a few more years, I'll be Karchy style. I remember when I was 13 years old, I told my dad, "Dad, I hope there's volleyball in heaven." I've been siding out for a long time, and I won't stop until I capture gold. This is the AVP.
And the big question mark with Lambert being hurt is, do Lambert and Metzger have a legit chance to get to Beijing?
Watch 2 ball.
I mean, Karch, I know you're great, 148 victories. Could you have defended that? Is there anyone?
No.
Okay. Thanks for your honesty, Karchy.
Well, what happens is, unless you serve Rogers tough, he's going to put it close. Dalhausser will eat that ball up.
And Williams with a perfect cut shot. Metzger and Williams lead 8-6. We'll be back to Charleston, South Carolina in just a moment. Don't go anywhere. 2008 AVP Charleston Open is brought to you by Cross. Play hard, live comfortably. By Bud Light. Keeps it coming. And as always, the AVP reminds you to vive responsibly.
Welcome back to Charleston, South Carolina. It's the AVP Cross Tour. Here we go! Stein Metzger leading 8-6.
Cross court at Rogers. And Raji puts it down the middle. Karch, last year in the final, Phil Dalhausser, Todd Rogers versus Stein Metzger and Mike Lambert. Rogers had about 4 or 5 balls, the exact same shot that was out by about an inch. He remembers that to this day. He's thought about it, and he wants revenge.
The professor's computer was just a micro calibration off that time, and he did. You're right. He missed far too many. He never misses that line shot. That one that we saw him miss last year is his bread and butter. I don't expect him to miss many of those today. Williams, Metzger are going to have to earn their points.
Phil. Hard hubby wife down the middle. And Karch, that's why we call it the hubby wife. Down the middle between the two partners, a little miscommunication, like the husband and wife, and it causes problems.
Hubby wife, no communication, and now Dalhausser has his team even thanks to those 2 great serves. If they control those, put those away, they're up by about 4 points. That's what's so deadly about this serve. That goes down the whole time. It can go middle or either line.
Phil Dalhausser, second on the tour, an ace serves, and there's another one. We call it a spader, an ace, whatever you want to call it. That's a point, Karch.
Phil Dalhausser can call it he can call it anything he wants to, but he gets the guys leaning middle, then he switches direction to the sideline. For all we know, he may go to Mark Williams' line this time. He has such command of his location.
Karch Karai, best jump serve in the world, Phil Dalhausser, in your opinion?
Absolutely.
A definitive, absolutely. Raji lays it out, unable to come up with it. 9-9.
Gator, what happened is in 2001, the size of the court changed, and it became much harder to jump serve. Look at this effort. That ball was going right on the back line. Rogers doing the right thing as a defender, going with his left hand. But it became much tougher to be an effective jump server when the court shrunk down by over 20%. Dalhausser is the only one in the world, I think, who's really mastered it.
Karch, they always said that would change the game. There would never be tough serving again. Well, he's proved it wrong, correct?
Well, it certainly doesn't hurt to be 6'9" and do that.
Raji off the block for 10-9.
And that's a bad break for Metzger Williams. Both of them were all over that line shot of Rogers. Williams on the block and Metzger on the defense, but then it deflected off the Williams block to the middle of the court, and they were both leaning the wrong way. Couldn't do anything about it.
Todd Rogers back to serve.
Line.
Steino, the patented poke. Karch, I call it patented because people call the shot the Steino. I mean, you have your own shot. You should get paid every time someone does it.
It's right off the knuckles. We call it the pokey. But watch, he knows he gets away with a little here. This is always risky to do because Dalhausser, such a huge wingspan, can slap that thing down. All he needs to do is get his pinky on it. It's a block, but Metzger gets away with it that time.
Right there, line.
Oh, the dig by Metzger. A chance to take the lead. And he does! Stein Metzger puts it away for 11-10. Hey, Karch, Stein Metzger, talk about this guy. He's got so many interests outside of volleyball, a real outdoorsman. He loves to surf, he loves to sail, he loves nature, and he loves to play volleyball and celebrate it.
Hey, he's so into sailing now, he doesn't have a car in California anymore. He'd rather have a bike and a boat, and he takes the bike to the boat every afternoon after practice. He just loves being, he's the quintessential Hawaiian waterman.
You're right, Karchi. Right off his 5th place finish in the 04 Athens Games, Steino and I cruised the waters of Waikiki.
Heading through the channel in Outrigger Canoe Club. We're heading out towards Waikiki to a place called Threes. We got Lee LeGrand manning the boat. Steino, our captain. My personal assistant, Loiter. Just another stop on the AVP Tour.
We're in Waikiki Bay, and if you notice, we got beautiful Waikiki behind us. A lot of hotels, but
It's not the Princess Hotel.
no, it's the Royal Hawaiian, one of the original hotels here in Waikiki. We actually just boated over on my buddy Bruce Black's Hawaiian sailing canoe from the Outrigger Canoe Club out here to Pops. Lee just jumped in the water, got a little surf on, and we're just enjoying the sun and the Bud Lights.
How are you feeling now when you look back on your Athens experience?
I feel good. I mean, it was just an amazing experience to have that kind of energy in the entire city of Athens. And just the vibe that was there was so great. And to think back on some of my memories and experiences, there are things that I'll never forget. And that's just precious.
Now, you won 3 national championships at UCLA. Was that your high point, being in Athens? Or would you say maybe winning the Manhattan Open or one of your national championships?
There are a lot of high points in my volleyball career, but really...
Beating Lee LeGrand and Muskegon.
That's definitely one of them. But really, the highest points in my career in volleyball is meeting just great people throughout the whole experience and being able to take trips like this with guys like you.
Nothing like touring the islands with a local like Stein Metzger. Miss serve makes it 11-11. I'd like to remind everybody, for everything volleyball, go to avp.com. You can buy all your tickets for the events, watch the greatest show on earth, the Dig Show, get on the message boards and light it up. avp.com. Stein Metzger spending most of his offseason at his house in Hawaii with his beautiful wife, Emily, saying he's in the best shape he has been in years in terms of his health and his mental game. They go to Willie.
Phil standing on his feet, no jumping to the corner. And when you're 6'9", you can do that. Give it up for Phil Dalhausser.
That's exactly right, Peter. He doesn't even have to jump, but the key to this play, watch Rogers making a late break here, gets it in the perfect spot. Dalhausser could have set that ball, but he makes the better choice, puts it away before the defense is ready.
Dalhausser, 28 years old, won his first title in 2005 in Austin, Texas with his good friend Nick Lucena. He now has 24 titles, and he's the MVP of the AVP.
And he's been going at Williams the entire match. Let's see if he does it again. Yep. Willie from the right side.
Willie scores. How about a little something for the effort, though? The big Phil laying it out. Hey, we got ourselves a ball game. 12-12. Make a little noise. Mark Williams, part of Team Chevrolet, back to serve.
Got to give Todd Rogers great credit there. It is not often that you can chase down the cut shot of Mark Williams on one play, and the very next play, he's all over that line shot. In fact, he was so on it that he pushed it too far back to the other sideline. Dalhausser couldn't make the play.
Willie to serve. Goes to Raji. Steino tries to run it down, but cannot do it.
Point to Rogers and Dalhausser, 13-12.
Metzger Williams consulting a little here. Last weekend, when Dalhausser Rogers had their only loss against Keenan, Brad Keenan and John Hayden, they did a lot of that. Took Rogers' angle away, made him try to hit that soft shot. He missed him, but he's not missing tonight.
They go to Willie. Phil told us earlier they will serve him because it's his first time in a final. And right there, he delivers. I'm going to let the people know about it.
Give it up for Mark Williams. Bombing away. 13-13.
All 4 of just a few inches of line, they can thread that needle, and that's what Williams does around the Dalhausser block.
Raji. Stein is there. Stein challenges and delivers, and Karch, what a great play by Metzger.
Well, what he does here, you said it, he challenges the block, and that is how he and Lambert, Mike Lambert, his regular partner, won this event in Charleston 1 year ago, is going hard, making Dalhausser think, putting it right through his hands there.
Stein Metzger to serve. That ball is long, so we go to break at 14-14 in game number 1 under the lights in Charleston. We got ourselves a ball game.
Welcome back to Charleston, South Carolina. Karch Karai. Mark Williams was a guy that a couple of years ago was almost out of volleyball. He became a police officer.
Well, he went through the training, did the whole program, and then just didn't like having to write people up for tickets, didn't like the kind of job it turned out to be, but he really does like the fact that he attained so much discipline in going through and passing the police academy.
All right, here we go. Phil to serve. Make a little noise. 14-14.
Willie from the right side.
Steino lays it out, but the point goes to Phil and Todd. 15-14.
And you can see the disappointment on Metzger's face all over that shot. Goes with his right hand. And normally he controls every one of those, but it shanks off his thumb, goes backwards. The play really started, though, with Dalhausser being so high with this battle of the behemoths at the net here with Williams and Dalhausser. Dalhausser getting a nice soft block, keeping it in play.
Phil and Todd have won 50 of their last 54 matches on the AVP Tour, 7 of the last titles on the AVP Tour. Complete dominance. And he goes to Mark Williams in his first final. And Willie delivers it. That's a hard cross-court shot, wrist away from the southpaw.
And there's something a little different about blocking a left-hander. There aren't many of them out here, so it sometimes leaves Dalhausser a little too much on the right shoulder instead of the left shoulder of Mark Williams. He cranks it down on the steep angle.
Mark Williams, 29 years old. Off the tape. Raji from the right side.
Todd Rogers. He got it.
Peter, you were mentioning how they've won so many, Dalhausser-Rogers won so many matches, reigning world champions. They feel like they're right on target. What they really want to do this year, of course, win every time they play on the AVP Tour. But they're the leading contender on the American side to win a gold medal in Beijing, and they are fired up about their first Olympics.
Willie.
Willie to the coffin corner. 16-16.
And speaking of Olympics, Mark Williams having competed in 2 of them. One as a defensive specialist, 6'7" for his Australian indoor team, and then in Athens, just losing in the bronze medal match. Almost an Olympic medalist himself.
Was he a 6'7" libero?
Yes, he was. That's scary.
Go! Rogers just too perfect. 17-16.
Let's talk about the professor, Karch. Todd Rogers. Is he just like a sneaky jumper? Because he jumps a lot higher than I think people think.
He kind of walks in. It's very unusual. Usually you want to go from slow to fast as an approach, but it's very deceptive. He has to get up high. He's only 6'2". Teams have been going at him for 4 or 5 years now and not getting points off him against the biggest blockers in the world. Deserves a lot of credit for contending with them at his height.
Phil out of the University of Central Florida. Reigning MVP. Hard at Williams. Raji with a dig.
And this is an interesting play. Again, Metzger Williams trying to force, and you can see Raji saying, my fault, my bad. Trying to take his angle away. Watch Williams right here, step way to his right. He's trying to block that cut shot. They leave it open for Rogers, but he misses, and that leaves Metzger Williams back in a tie.
Mark Williams stepping up huge in his first ever final.
Willie with the pull. Willie with a chance for the lead.
Shot is just wide, 18-17.
Welcome back to beautiful Charleston, South Carolina. Time for the Bud Light Tournament Recap. We focus on the partnership of Mark Williams and Aaron Wachvogel. They took a third in Dallas, and then Willie dumped him.
Stein tried to steal and successfully stole Willie from me. And I can't necessarily fault anyone for it. Volleyball is just a carousel of mandating. It's kind of embarrassing, but it's just how it works out. I'm the jilted lover.
And as the volleyball gods would have it, these two teams would meet in the semifinals. Wachvogel and Ring having to grovel through the loser's bracket all the way from 9th place. And Aaron is heated up and ready to attack his old partner. And these guys would go at it, back and forth, both teams being so aggressive, so many stuff blocks as Willie gets one there. Ring returns the favor. Willie right back at you, and Ring wants another one. Look at Mark Williams stuffing his old partner down. And in the end, Stein Metzger with a dig and the put away. What a great battle. 21-19, 21-19.
Big Phil and Todd Rogers leading 18-17 Charleston, South Carolina. This is game number 1. Clap your hands and support all 4 athletes working tremendously hard here under the lights in our men's final.
Raji to serve.
Steino! 18-18.
A little stare down too there. But again, he has to be aggressive. Nice job by Metzger there, challenging that Dalhausser block. When they run the low play and hit on 2 like that, Dalhausser just doesn't have enough time to form a good block. Metzger takes advantage.
18-18. Stein on Willie trying to score a real point off a serve.
Oh, thank you.
And the set is called. Rarely do we see that, Karch Karai. A bad set by Phil Dalhausser.
We never see the infamous chuck from Dalhausser, but this one slips through his hands a little, comes out with too much spin. It's called a lift or a double contact. And it started with the aggressive serve of Stein Metzger, a pass that was much more difficult. You'd see almost nobody use their hands on that, but Dalhausser does.
Do you call that if you're the ref?
Absolutely.
Okay, if you do, then I do.
Rogers didn't argue it.
If Todd doesn't argue, then you know it's probably a throw.
Metzger and Williams just 2 points away from taking down Rogers and Dalhausser.
Phil Dalhausser to the back line, and it's good.
Karch, pretty funny. I'm down here on the sand. You can hear Steino yell to the ball, "Get out!"
Even the greatest defensive players, they try to talk that ball into doing things they need, but not on that play. Nice changeup by Dalhausser there.
Everybody's got a bag once in a while, Karch, right?
Metzger was dug in for the heat on the angle, and he couldn't also get that line shot.
Can you blame him? You played against Phil last year in Charleston on this surface.
You're just trying to keep your head attached to your body. You got to have your insurance paid up to play defense against him.
An absolute blast, but Willie handles it. Nice roll up by Stein. Raji's there. Stein's got to play it. And here we go. 19-19.
Phil Dalhausser throwing it down. The beast on your feet. Game point. Game number 1. Charleston, South Carolina. Rise as one.
Well, that's why they're the best team in the world. It starts with the dig from Rogers, and then it comes with the clamp, finishes with the clamp from Dalhausser. What a great combination of defense in the backcourt and defense at the net.
And Phil loves it. Everyone on their feet in Charleston, South Carolina. Game point, game number 1 for Rogers and Dalhausser. And the best player in the world comes up huge when it matters most. Dalhausser, Rogers, 21-19. Steino came down to the wire right there. What are you going to tell Mark Williams when he go into that box? You've been in this position a lot of times, and he played great.
Well, fortunately, we played 2 out of 3 here, so he's going to have another opportunity to come back and play well. They're serving him a lot of balls, putting a lot of pressure on him in his first final. I need to set him a little bit better, help him out a little bit, but we're right in there, Gator.
How bad do you want to crush the thin beast?
I think it's time. It's been a little while since anybody's beat him in a final, and I think we're primed for it. We're playing well, so we're ready to go here.
It's so good to have you back out here.
Thanks,
go in
brother.
there. All right, Steino. Good luck, bud.
Todd Rogers and Phil Dalhausser, the world's #1 team, has their hands full tonight in Charleston with Metzger and Williams. Game 2 when we return. Welcome back to Charleston, South Carolina, the Family Circle Tennis Center, one of the most beautiful facilities on tour. And you know, when you get knocked out of the tournament, you got to find some other activity to do to let your aggressions out.
We're in Charleston, one of the best tournaments of the year. We just lost in 9th place. Ryan and Ed, it was a great match. Now my partner, battling forehand, backhand, playing Mike play check.
I was really good at tennis. I was really good when I was 14. We were talking in the tent, and I was bragging to Sean Scott and Todd Rogers that I used to play tennis. So I said I could beat Mike, because I didn't realize that he played UCSB tennis and was like #3.
It was a rough day out here in Charleston, but thankfully there's tennis courts out here. Take my anger out over here on Hog. Had a good time.
Tell you what, if this volleyball thing work out, you might have a career in tennis.
Come on, hit in the net. Hit in the net.
This is how we do it. This is how we do it on the AVP tour.
Hans a little in over his head. Mike Playchek actually beat Andy Roddick when he was younger. He's got mad tennis game. And here we go, game number 2. Stein Metzger to serve. Under the lights in Charleston, South Carolina. Serve is long, 1-0 Rogers Dalhausser. For everything volleyball, we remind you to go to avp.com. Pick up your tickets today. avp.com. The professor, Todd Rogers.
Shot just a little wide.
Coach Karai, let's talk about Stein Metzger's Olympic hopes. His partner Mike Lambert hurt, we don't know for how long. Are they eliminated?
They are not eliminated, but the hopes are dwindling. Jake Gibb and Sean Rosenthal, the team they're competing for with that berth, have been having some good overseas results. And even Metzger says they're doing a great job of trying to close that door on us.
Raji's there.
Willie off the head. How about a little something for the effort? Even Todd Rogers likes it.
I don't even know how Willie knew where that ball was. When you play with your bill down like that, all of a sudden it pops up. Watch him right here as he's blocking Rogers. It's right above his head. And in fact, that would have been a better play had his hat not been on. The bill slowed it down.
There's Mark Williams, 29 years old, in his first ever final, went to UCLA, won 2 national championships for Al Skates. Stein Metzger won 3 national championships for Al Skates. He was a cop, Karch. I mean, I'd hate to do something wrong and have him just get me one of those weird holds, you know, those choke holds, and I would never get out.
Especially this year, he's gained 18 pounds coming into this year.
He's doing some work. And Karch, she has been dating for quite some time now one of the members of Team Gorgeous on the women's side, Michelle Moore.
Absolutely, he's a busy man.
It's a good-looking couple. And there's Michelle Moore and her partner in the white visor, Suzanne Stonebarger. Michelle Moore, a pretty good blocker herself. I don't know who's teaching who between Mark and Michelle, but watch her step over, give a nice little stuff down. They took a 9th place finish in Charleston, South Carolina. And Michelle Moore looks on with Emily Metzger, Stein's wife, and they look very concerned, down 4-0 here in game 2. Shot right there. Sometimes you just got to do anything to side out.
Anything to avoid that Dalhausser block. Yeah. As we saw, he ended it with a monster, ended that first game block with a big angle block.
Mark Williams, your server. Make a little noise for him. His first ever final. Here we go.
Blasting that serve at Phil.
off the chest, straight up in the air.
Karch, that was awesome.
That was so incredible. First of all, Dalhausser with a great pass, but just rips it. You see how Metzger leans himself back so that every body surface is pointed up if the ball hits it. Perfectly positioned there.
Willie goes at Dalhausser again. And Dalhausser makes it 5-2 as we take the turn in a break. Rogers and Dalhausser lead 5-2.
Welcome back, Charleston, South Carolina. These are the greatest athletes in the world. Your AVP beach volleyball players doing this on the sand. They are in the race for the Crocs Cup and the quest for Beijing to represent you, the United States.
The Crocs Cup standings after 3 events. Dalhausser and Rogers, the defending world champions, in first. Furbringer and Jennings in second, followed by Gibb Rosenthal and Hayden and Keenan. And the end of the year will culminate the Crocs Cup in Manhattan Beach, California, the $1 million tournament. Willie! Karch, he goes at the beast, and he gets him this time. He's aggressive, and you like that.
And what works here is that Williams goes behind. Watch how he goes to a different part of the court. He calls for the back bump set, and Dalhausser a little bit late, a fraction of a second sooner, and he blocks that down on the other side instead of his own feet.
Oh, nice side serve. Phil delivers it. Karch, the score is now 11-5. You're talking about a 6-point difference against the #1 team in the world. Can they get back in this game? And if so, what do they need to do?
Did you see that smile? Metzger's just laughing at that effort. You know, Metzger and Williams are playing great volleyball. It's just that they're playing against the world champions right now, and they can't. A couple of lucky breaks, a couple of bad breaks. I don't think Metzger Williams are playing badly. Williams in his first final, I think, has recorded himself well.
Phil, that is silly, Charleston.
Oh my gosh, they want to make Williams come short. Gets the cut shot. All Rogers has to do is put it up somewhere along the net. Dalhausser's going to feast. The beast is going to feast on them.
The beast loves to feast, Karch.
Just feed him the meat at the net, the red meat, and he's going to put it down.
Shot just wide. Karch, you think there's ever going to be a day where someone says, God, have you seen Phil? Yeah, I saw him last week. Yeah, he's put on a lot of weight. He looks fat. You think that'll ever happen?
I don't think so. He struggles so hard just to keep weight on. These guys wanting to put some weight on, especially in the early part of the season because they lose so much through such a grueling schedule.
I mean, TV usually adds 10 pounds. It drops 10 for Phil.
Oh, how about a little heat by Willie and his Team Chevy gear.
And he doesn't want to be too heavy, Dalhausser doesn't, because he can get up just that much higher as a blocker. He's getting his armpits over the net. Nobody else in the world can do that, and that is a huge key to the defense and to intimidating opposing hitters.
They're going to make a run. It's got to be now. Oh.
Just long. 14-6.
Ball had a lot of velocity on it, Karch. I thought it might have hit the tape, but my vision's not great, so.
Well, what can happen is the ball can land out, but if it strikes the line, that cloth, that ribbon line on the way out, it will be considered in, but nobody saw it hit the line on that way.
Mark Williams swinging from right to left like he used to do at UCLA and going with the cross-court hammer. It's 14-7. Charleston applaud the 4 great athletes, Stein Metzger, Mark Williams, Todd Rogers, and Phil Dalhausser.
The 2008 AVP Charleston Open is brought to you by Crocs. Play hard, live comfortably. By Gatorade. Is it in you? And by Bud Light, keeps it coming. Charleston, South Carolina. Stein Metzger serving.
Willie is there.
Hey, Karch, you know, Mark Williams did a great job this year. In the wintertime, he went on the first ever Hot Winter Nights tour. I was there. We had a blast, and he won.
A lot of the guys really, and the ladies, enjoyed that whole series, and it's a mini individual championship. We'll play with all the other 3 players, and Williams did it on that night.
Let's see if Willie can come up with a block here on the Beast.
Phil, high, deep, and it's in.
Yeah, you know, everyone was in a bus, Karch. We traveled around from city to city. Willie actually won 2 of the first 3 nights, and he was the MVP on the bus, so he had a great performance.
On the court and off. And he said playing with Metzger, the one thing he's most learned is just that drive to win, that passion. He's trying to suck all that knowledge and all that experience up like a sponge. He doesn't know how long he's going to get to play with Metzger on this tour.
1911.
Short jump float.
So tough. What an effort by Metzger.
But Phil bombs it. On your feet, Charleston, South Carolina. Every man, woman, and child will rise. And here we go. Game, match, championship point. Todd Rogers, your server, trying to make it 4 for 4 on the AVP Crocs Tour. Stein Metzger is reminding you that he is the champ until he gets knocked off. He won it last year. Once again for Raji and Phil. Game, match, championship point. Ladies and gentlemen, give it up. Phil Dalhausser and Todd Rogers have won in Charleston.
Dalhausser and Rogers make it 4 for 4 on the AVP Crocs Tour. And now it's time for the Crocs Fancy Footwork Play of the Day. Phil hammering the serve at Willie. Watch the dig by Roger. And then Phil will get his big right paw involved. And he got it. The Beast loves it in Charleston. The Crocs Fancy Footwork Play of the Day. Now it's time for the Gatorade Champions interview.
And here I am with Todd Rogers and Phil Dalhausser. Todd, I'll start with you. Last year, you guys came in 2nd place here in Charleston, South Carolina. You yourself made some errors. You missed by that much. Tonight, you guys were on full force.
I don't know about that. I think the first game I struggled a little bit. Phil was pretty awesome the whole time, as usual.
Shocker?
Yeah, I know, shocking, huh, for the MVP. So the first game I felt a little off. Second game just felt quite a bit better. And yeah, it's much better not being the bridesmaid.
All right, Phil Dalhausser. Mark Williams in his first ever final, playing with Stein Metzger. I know it's nice to have Steino back, and Willie played great in his first final.
Absolutely. Willie definitely pushed us to the limits in the first game. And we got a couple points early on him in the second, and it seemed like smooth sailing from us from there.
Phil, Todd, you guys are 4 for 4 on the AVP Crocs Tour. Good luck going overseas representing the United States of America. We can't wait to get you back. Phil Dalhausser and Todd Rogers, our champions in Charleston, South Carolina.
Another great weekend on the AVP Crocs Tour from Charleston, South Carolina, as Dalhausser and Rogers continue their dominance of the world. For Karch Karai, I'm Chris McGee. We'll see you next time.